Are you in a place where you're trying to figure out what self-love actually means, or even how to do it? Well, the thing about the word love is that it's so used and abused that so many people have become disconnected from its true sense of value and significance. For those of us like myself who have experienced years of emotional abuse and narcissistic abuse, our experience of love became completely distorted, and our perception of love was that it was something conditional. And I'll give you an example by sharing a part of my story. I personally lived through numerous experiences of being around narcissistic people and even very unhealed people who projected their pain onto others. And these were the type of toxic environments that I'd find myself in since a very young age. And when you're living in a toxic environment, and especially in cases with narcissistic people, then you're essentially living under their control. And when we stay in those environments, we quite naturally end up handing over our power to them. So we consequently become very disconnected from our own sense of self-worth. I used to be gaslighted on a regular basis with statements like, if you loved me, you would do this for me. Or, oh, you're just like this other person. Or they'd play the victim card when they didn't get what they wanted. So they'd say things like, oh, no one cares about me. And us empaths easily give in to this one because we have such big hearts and we don't like to see others in pain or feeling sad. But the thing with narcissistic people is that they know that. So when they realize that they're not getting their way or what they want out of you, then the victim card becomes the ultimate weapon to get you to give in to their demands. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation. So it makes you believe something that's not reality. And it programs you to believe that you are unloved or invalid or unworthy unless you give in to their demands and their control. So that led me to believe that I could only be lovable if I would do what they told me to do, or if I would offer something to them, whether the nature of that was something physical or emotional. So I became programmed to believe that in order to be loved, I had to be giving into their control and give away my own power. Because if I didn't, then there would be consequences, and in these cases, those consequences would have been abuse. And I also noticed that the way in which they treated others, and that if others didn't do as they wanted, then they would get the wrath of them. So I wanted to avoid that at all costs. And in doing so, I gave away my power and my worth. So especially if this is something you've experienced since childhood growing up, then you will have become so programmed to believe that this is what love means and that love is conditional, which it's not. And what this meant for me was that as an adult, I had to relearn what love meant. Now, many people actually come to me, especially empaths, come to me telling me that their priority right now in their life and the thing that they feel that they need in order to feel happy and feel satisfied and thrive in their life is to find love. And they tell me that they want to find someone who cares about them in the way that they care about others. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to find love and find someone who cares about you in an unconditional way. But the danger lies in this limiting belief that you need to find that person in order to feel happy or in order to feel like you can thrive in your life. And these people who I am describing right now who've approached me about this often tend to be those who have experienced narcissistic abuse. And this is really no coincidence, and here's why. And I'll explain this by going back to my story, so see if you can relate to this. I used to try so hard my entire life to please others just so that I could get them to love me. So I kept on giving and giving and giving, but what I did was never enough. So I never felt the full depth of that love. And when you've never really felt that deep love from someone, then you really start to crave it. And really, that's human nature, right? Love is what helps us survive. But here's what I've learned, and here's what I want to pass on to you. Thriving in life is not dependent on external factors, and that includes other people. Thriving means that we're able to feel love regardless of who we encounter in our life. And the more we feel that love within us, the more we begin to attract it. The more we become able to attract the people who we can connect with on a deeper level. And the better our chances of ultimately finding love. So the real secret lies in filling yourself with that feeling first. So that you are then more able to attract it and receive it. So really, it's not about a search for something or someone external. It's about offering yourself what you need first as a starting point in order to later attract all of the things that you want and all of the people that you want in your life. So how do we do that? Well, there's a saying that goes, when you like a flower, you pluck it. But when you love a flower, you water it daily. And what this means is that love is offering time and nurture, and it means listening, communicating, understanding, learning. And these are the ingredients of growing love. And that includes love in our relationships with others, but also with ourselves. And these are all ingredients that we could all do with offering ourselves daily. So guys, share with me in the comments, what ideas can you come up with to put this into action in your life? What can you do that will mean offering yourself that time, that nurture, that listening, that communicating, that understanding, and that learning about yourself? What can you integrate into your daily routine and your daily habits? Let me know in the comments below.